Hey, oh, all right. Oh, wait. You don't want to hear me sing. Let's listen to some bunk bed coffin. Oh, I forgot to put them in the description again. I'm the worst. Just kidding. I'm the best. I'm your morning show leftist, radical. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Radical is such a cool. If you were called radical in the late 80s to early 90s, that was like top of the top. Anyways, I'm Rob, your radical, leftist, socialist commentator on the news. I do the morning. I want to do the morning show on YouTube for leftists because Hassan doesn't go live until what 2 p.m. Eastern, so that's 11 a.m. Nope. Yeah, that's 11 a.m. West Coast. So I mean, on the East Coast, you got to wait till 2 to watch Hassan. Valenti, he usually goes live. He's another amazing live streamer. What time does Valenti go live? Probably in like an hour or so. I don't know exactly what time. So maybe I can start sneaking in. I just got to read the news early. I got a lot of stuff going on in the morning, man. When you've been up since 5, you got a lot of stuff to get done. But welcome. Hit subscribe, hit notification bell. I'm going to take you into the world of fake news grifters. If you don't know who Dan Oingo Boingo is that how you... No, it's Dan Bugina. Reference basketball, Matt and Trey. South Park creators, 90s movie, Jenny McCarthy. Great movie, but if you've seen it, you get the reference. Dan Bugina. Had a spake San Franciscan. Vagina. This is a great movie. Those guys are geniuses. But I got some audio of Dan Bugina admitting it's like Sean Hannity interviewing Dan Bugina, and they're just giggling like little girls. They're like, it was so shocking. People thought like we were doing real shows here. No, we're paid. We're just paid to say whatever the puppet masters want. Like they literally. And then I forgot to do that. I got to pull up I'm going to play some Rutger Bergman for you, Dutch historian, class warrior, I should call him. Because he called Tucker Carlson, yeah, here it is. I don't have to type much to, he calls Tucker Carlson a millionaire mouthpiece for billionaires. Go to the website. You shut your mouth, advertiser.
Wagon. You're all like, oh, I'm against the
Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm against the global elite. Rutger Bergman is one of the dopest historians. Richard Pictures. What do you picture? Is it in your mind or your chi-chi? So we're going to do all of that. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe. It's freezing. Is it cold where you are? We're getting warnings. It's going to be wind chill -10. Hi. This is Bunk Bed Coffin. YouTube, he allows me to use his music, so don't give me a hard time. I love this is like kind of my morning radio show on YouTube. And YouTube is kind of like public access TV for the internet. Anyways, but YouTube, listen, Bunk Bed Coffin, BUNKBEDCOFFIN. Bunk Bed Coffin. Go find him on YouTube. I forgot to link him down in the looks like I'm already subbed. Thank you, Richard. Same. Weeping angel. Weeping angel. I got it. I figured it out. I learned phonetically. I miss Florida. Don't do that. Please just listen. My brother lives down in Florida, so when I'm like wind chill -10, he's like, "Oh, I get it. It was a blistery 55 today," and I'm like, "Shut up." Oh, my thoughts and prayers to everybody who's trying to afford heat this winter because, you know, it's exorbitant. Oh, why do we not nationalize the electric grid, you know? Just so you know, National Grid, if you use that or whatever your company is, most likely, unless you have some kind of town power plant, which I've lived in those, and the power is amazingly cheap when it's owned by the town. Um, but if you have like a National Grid or what is it, SDG&E, I'm trying to think where I've lived. Um, just know those are for-profit enterprises, corporations, and they want to charge you the most. That's why you'll get these exorbitant bills because they don't care if you freeze. They just need profits. Go look it up. I've spent time doing it, and I've written Seth Moulton, you're my congressional representative. I wrote you months ago, like a lot of times. Write me back. I didn't sign up for your fucking mailing list, and I just keep getting these brave words you're sending. I don't give a shit about words, Seth Moulton. I want to see some action, buddy. I didn't vote for you. I voted for myself, actually. I wrote myself in. But dude, you're a wealthy fucking elitist, and I'm sick and tired of you sending me these emails I didn't sign up for. I just want your office to contact me because your whole shtick of like, oh, we're gonna save people on energy, hasn't come through. And there are children that need to be warm in the winter. Nationalize the electric grids. Take it over. Seize the means, man. Seize the means. Let's listen to some Bunk Bed Coffin, okay? It's the morning time. I got some peppy music. Let's wake everybody up. Ray Gun is here. You can make a power generator out of beehives. Raygun, are you subscribed to our Discord? Link in the description. Because if you are, let's do a life hack prepper channel. And please explain that. I got like 20 people to vote for me to be coroner. Oh, that's a good job. Yo, if you're coroner, you can pull rank on police. I forget the scenario, but coroner, Raygun, I'm vote. Hey, when next time it comes up, you let me know. We'll get you on. We'll get you coroner. We need Raygun as coroner. This is Bunk Bed Coffin. Welcome to the show. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want. Hit that little thumbs up. It don't matter to me. I'm not doing this for the likes. I'm doing this for the love. Oh shit, that's a good phrase, Rob. Did you just come up with that? Fuck yeah. Bunk Bed Coffin. This is Drop. I need caffeine. Deny everything. Hold on. President Reagan says, I don't know how to Corin. Reagan, here's the good thing. So if you're just joining us, long time family member President Reagan told us he got about 20 people to vote for him to be coroner. But then he says, I don't know how to Corin. And here's the beautiful thing about America. None of it's about meritocracy. Jared Kushner is telling people that he's going to sell timeshares in Gaza. You think that guy's even remotely qualified for the position he has? No, this is all about nepotism. So you get your ass in there and you learn how to Corin on the job. I support you, Raygun, and we're going to get you, because I'm guaranteeing you that got good pay, probably a pension, healthcare. That's a state job. You get a badge, you get to pull rank on cops, you get to Corin, baby. You get there. I love it. No, DeJones, not a Led Zeppelin intro. I'll start it again. This is, again, I'm sorry, I usually link everything down, everything we're going to talk about. Dan Bugina admitting to Fox News, on Fox News with Sean Hannity, they're admitting to the world. They're like, we're not serious people. We're paid to say this stuff. I'm like, MAGA, wake the fuck up. These people are literally saying like, oh, no. Like the really rich billionaires, they just tell us to say this, and I don't believe none of it. And they're like giggling and laughing like little schoolgirls because they're wealthy off of grifting you. Oh my God, I'm so happy they admitted it. I'm so thankful. And then I'm going to play Rutger Bergman, Dutch historian, who called this out many years ago with Tucker Carlson. He said, Tucker, you claim to be against the elite, but you're just a millionaire mouthpiece for billionaires. One of the greatest clips that Tucker Carlson flipped out on. I'm going to play that for you. This is great stuff, folks. This is educational material in entertainment. I'm going to call it Infotainment. Are you infotained? Let's play. I'll play Bunk Bed Coffin from the beginning. I'm sorry that I interrupted. This is Bunk Bed Coffin. Like you sleep in forever, but a double stack. Bunk Bed Coffin. Amazing local artist. If you love grunge like I do, you love Kurt Lane, Chris, Shannon Hoon. He wasn't that grunge, but you know that whole movement. Whoop, from the 90s, birthed out of Seattle in the punk scene. I'm telling you, go support Bunk Bed Coffin. Go to his channel after the live stream. Are you not infotained? Oh man, I gotta get a clip. We're gonna make a clip of that. Yeah, Paul, I always wear a beanie, especially when the wind chill is going to be -10. My house is like 45 degrees because they won't nationalize the electric grid. So we have to pay exorbitant amounts to profiteers and shareholders dividends instead of having heat. You know, a basic fucking necessity in the year of our Lord 2026. Here's Bunk Bed Coffin with Drop. Paul the meteorologist. This is Bunk Bed Coffin. Welcome to the show. Yeah, the weather can suck. Go support Bunk Bed Coffin. Throw him a subscribe, a like. Seattle vibe, right, Weeping Angel? That's right. He's so good. You guys got to go check out Bunk Bed Coffin, okay? You got to do it. You got to do it. I keep forgetting to link his channel in the description. My apologies, Bunky. Again, I screwed up because me and him chat, and I said, "Hey, man, on my live show, can I please use your music?" He said, "Of course." So, I meant to link it in the chat, but Bunk Bed Coffin. Weeping Angel, you want to really hear a Seattle vibe? Let me play this other song for you. You know this song. This is a famous song. I only play a little bit of it, but this is Bunk Bed Coffin covering Drain You, one of my favorite Nirvana songs. Rest in peace, Kurt. We miss you. We need you. Well, baby, too, that says I'm lucky with you. Is this not creepy how good he is? Back and forth. That is Bunk Bed Coffin. Check him out. MAGA trying to connect dots from different pages. Oh no. I just found you yesterday. It's good to hear the truth for a change. Peace to you and also with you. Glad you're here. Weeping Angel, isn't that good? Sorry guys, I was just chatting with Weeping Angel. We're gonna get to some news in a minute. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm glad you're back. Peace to you. I'm glad you found me. I hope you hit the notification bell. I usually don't go live this early, but I'm trying to start up maybe like the morning show right before you can go watch Chris Valenti for a little bit, and then you can go watch Hassan for a little bit, and hopefully we'll cover everything for you. Covering news, showing you new local artists. Listen, if you're not listening to Kneecap, Kneecap, the Irish rap trio. My cats are going to be all over me right now. Sorry. What? Double tap that screen and show this gentleman some appreciation with the like. Feeling awesome. I like your name. That's a good name in the morning. Feeling awesome. And I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. I'm Rob. We're going to get to some news because Dan Bugina, Dan Oingo Boingo, whatever he was, he left the FBI. Cash App Patel, I got news on him too, is there alone. Although the way he sees, he's probably seeing two of himself. Anyways, and Dan Bugina went on Sean Hannity's Fox. Is Sean Hannity still on Fox? Didn't that guy have like a... Anyways, and they just both admitted and started giggling about being paid to grift their audience. And I thought, what a shame. We got to blast this out to everybody and share it. If somebody watches Fox, like share this link with them. It's in the description. Rob, pay me $1 billion so you could be in my club. All right. Do you take cashier's check? It's on the way. That's a good reference to the Donald Trump billionaire boys club. But what is he calling it? The Proud Boys of Peace or something? I don't know what Donald Trump's new club is, but apparently two of the people, Netanyahu and Putin, couldn't show up because they would have been arrested at the airport for war crimes. But, you know, the Proud Boys of Peace are still trying to grift everyone in the world. It's like, this is where I try to teach people. This is a class war. When billionaires are like, give me $1 billion to be in my club, you know it's not about money. They have the greed disease. They have the swine, not flu, but, you know, they're swine. They're just filthy swine. They've been infected. Only the best people. That's right. Only the best. Alma's here. What's up, Alma? Oh, Sendo Justa. What's up? Good to see you. If I pronounce that horribly, my apologies. The Yersinia pestis of people. Bum. Bobo. Is that what you're saying? What you like? You say what he likes. He's just coming in to go bum. Bob wakes up in the morning. He's like, bum. I love bum. Guys, girls, Joe Rogan's, I don't care, bum. What a weird comment. What a weird comment to come in and be like, bum. Who, Joe Rogan's? Whose? Theo Vaughn's? Whose are you staring at, Bobby? Baba. Oh no, we got another EDS with a Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. Nobody's mentioned Charlie Kirk since he lost that gun debate by a long shot. Shut up. He's forgotten. Erica Kirk's already moved on. She's like, I'm going on tour, bitches. I'm getting that jacuzzi. Good for you. Good for you, Erica. You keep grifting America. Speaking of grifters, let's get into some news. Hey, cat, stop doing that. Stop, cat. My cat's moving the camera. Stop, okay? I love you, but you can't do this. You want to do the news? All right, you do the cat news. There's a bunch of filthy swine. There's a bunch of filthy swine in your government. You know who doesn't snitch? Cats. Drug sniffing dogs run by filthy swine. You have EDS. That's Epstein Dysfunction Disease Syndrome. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not a moron. I don't need to say 3 letters. I can have conversations. You know what? Before we get to the news, before I show you Dan Bugina admits he's a grifter, I'm going to play this audio in 1 second, link in the description, and then I'm going to play Mr. Rutger Bergman calling out these grifters. Let's do some meme news, okay? Here we go. You hear about, what's her name? Usha. I love that JD Vance is like, get the brown people out. It's like, ain't that your wife, dude? What's wrong with you? Anyways, see, they can even use people of color in the machinery of white supremacy. So let this be a lesson. So when asked how she and JD Couch advance, found the time to make a fourth baby. Usha said, you just have to find the right time and ensure the mood is right. And then if you see down here, hold on, somebody commented, is that why she's dressed like the sofa? I would have never caught that. I just wouldn't have put that together, but that is funny. That is funny. That's a good meme. That's a good meme. What's that? What else? Oh, did you guys see this video? This is ready for this one. This is how you have to travel in America now. Here we go. Yo, keep mocking this regime, people. The best way, in homage to Abby Hoffman, political activist, guerrilla theater activist, who Abby Hoffman, you know, I'll share this with you because this is good to know. Abby said, you know, if you're going to go out and protest, dress like the American flag. So when the cops start beating you, they have to beat the American flag, you know, dress patriotic. That's why Frogs Stronger Together is a beautiful thing. Go out there and be as ridiculous as you can. Make these people look like fools. They like playing the villain. Remember that. They like being the bad guy, the authority, that fear that is instilled in them since birth to be scared of everything. That's why they choose these roles, is really triggered when they're made out to be a villain, and it almost gives them a false sense of power. And just so you know, ICE has no fucking authority over American citizens. You can tell them to piss right off. But don't make them out to be villains. Make them out to be fools. The fools that they are. The bootlicking, just following order fools that they are. Keep this stuff up. This is amazing. This is powerful resistance. If you can make them look like fools, think about it. What is the only thing Donald Trump does not want to look like? A fool. That's why when he was begging for the Peace Prize, remember, he's the president of everyone gets a trophy. When he was begging for the Peace Prize and didn't get it, it made him look like a fool. So he had to take it from a woman. Like, it's the most pathetic thing ever. But once you see through the psyche of these, you know, absolute imbeciles, you understand that making them look like a fool is the best way to take them down. All right. Do I have... Oh, here. Did you guys see the bruises? Oh, gross. Oh, my God. Not much time left, I'm guessing. Like, what is that? Is that a swollen banana with a bruise? What is that? Doesn't look real. Gross. And look at that nussy. Holy crap. This is disgusting. This should not represent anyone. You know, that doesn't represent me. Look at that. Ew, what is sir, move that. Hide that. Now I understand why he hid this. Hide that, sir. Those raw Polish sausages look like they've gone bad. Holy sh! Oh my God. Oh, hold on. I forgot gifting is on. Who sent that gift? 1-0 duck. 1-OD duck? Oh no, did the duck OD? Lost that gun debate. He lost that gun debate by a long shot. I don't want to see no Charlie Clan memes or avatars. Baby thumb. Oh, does he have oh, he has a little baby thumb. Look at them sausages. President Reagan, thank you for the gift. And somebody gave one earlier, so I'm sorry if I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. He looks like a Simpsons character meets the alien from Mac and Me. Who are Weeping Angels referencing Mac and Me? Oh my God, the McDonald's E.T. movie. Listen, young heads, if you're not an elder millennial or a Gen X, you're not going to understand this. But there was a time after E.T. came out that McDonald's, you know, the restaurant that no one can afford to go to anymore, and they're catering to the wealthy working class, which hardly exists. McDonald's put out a movie called Mac and Me, and it was like an E.T. ripoff, and it's a real thing. And us kids, we didn't have like, you know, when we were growing up, the TVs went to static at like 1 a.m. It played the national anthem and went to static. So, okay, there wasn't much. So if a new E.T. came out, even though it was produced by McDonald's, we watched it. And it was disturbing. Mac and Me, go look it up. I don't promote it, but it's one of those things in history where you have to understand, you know, where society started to go wrong. Those eyebrows, bro. Yeah, look at that. Jesus. Looks like some kind of cloud formation. My God, but look at the hand. This hand concerns me. Like, look at how tiny these little fingers are. Look at them little chubby fingies. Looks like somebody hit him on the hand with a hammer. Sir, blink twice if Stephen Miller is abusing you. There might be elder abuse happening in the White House, okay? There might be, listen, I don't know if you could call, what's the opposite of a CPS? Old people PS? Old People Protective Services? Is there an Old People Protective Services that we can call to see if this man is being abused? Sir, is Melania, does your Gatorade taste like antifreeze, sir? Sir, blink twice if you're in trouble. We'll come and help you. Well, no, we wouldn't. No. You're on your own, buddy. You dug this. But this is starting to oh, I only laugh because it's Donald Trump and he's Epstein's best friend and did heinous things to children. But this is interesting. Look at that hand. It doesn't look real. This hand looks like somebody filled a plastic glove with Joe Rogan's, what did he? Horse tranquilizer. Looks like they filled the glove with the horse tranquilizer and put some tie-dye in there. My Christ. Bro, get a new hand, okay? Get a new hand. Or wear gloves, He should just start wearing a Michael Jackson glove everywhere. And at the end, instead of saying thank you for your attention to this matter, he should start saying, hee hee. I promise we're going to get to some news. This is absurd. This is absurd that we have a president looking like somebody smacked him with a hammer on the hand. Probably Ivy and Blue Vein. Yeah, that's the easy. That's what everyone's saying, I'd like to think that Stephen Miller is like, what are we doing, sir? They got him in the basement like it's a fucking casino. And they're like, we don't want you to screw it up again, do we? You don't want to be making no mistakes, huh? And Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller down there. They got Enrique Tarrio. All the goons. All the goons. This is hilarious. This is so funny. Perfect bill of health, by the way. Many corrupt doctors signed off on this chunk loaded hand of bad white chocolate fudge with a purple bruise. It looks like a black hole exploded in the center of his hand. Jesus, dude. What does your diet consist of? I don't know how you get hands like that, but stay away from McDonald's, folks. It's preserving his body in the worst way. Big, beautiful obituary. You're speaking my love language right now. Epstein says hi from the grave, Donnie. Yeah, his. I would give. Well, no, I wouldn't give anything, but just I hope somebody one day when this regime crumbles, because it will. They're grasping at straws of power right now. They're starting the Proud Boys of Peace board and inviting war criminals to it. It's like, okay, awesome. We don't have to pretend we're the bad guys anymore. But I would really like it if in Melania's movie, remember, hold on, let me show you. She has a Netflix or Amazon movie coming out. Here's the poster for it. I love street art. I wish that in this, she's like, my husband, he wakes up every night screaming, Jeffrey, don't say nothing. I would give anything to know what he wakes up from his nightmares, because he's flooded with nightmares. This dude don't sleep. That's why he's tweeting at 3 a.m. He's waking up in cold sweat. Jeff! That's what those bruises are, probably. He's had so many heart attacks. It's going to his hand. His hand is just like the veins are like, oh my God. Look at that chunk of burning love. Look at that neck. Joe Rogan, tell me that isn't funny. Come on. You said he's a funny guy. How do you mean funny? What kind of funny? Like nussy funny? All right, we gotta stop talking about this fat turd. I'm gonna play some things. Let's do another meme. Okay, this one's important. That is Mr. Samuel Clemens. You might know him as Mark Twain. He says, travel is and listen, the reason why I love this, don't go anywhere. You need to learn this, okay? This is important. You didn't pay attention in 9th grade English class. I did. Mr. Putnam, I love you. Thank you for being an amazing teacher. But you need to understand this, because if you love the likes of Anthony Bourdain or any of those travel eating shows, what's his name? Andrew Zimmerman. I'm little off on him, but you'll understand that Anthony Bourdain subscribes to this Mark Twainian Samuel Clemens philosophy. Let's read it. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one's little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And then here, you can do an AI overview, which I hate AI, but just to break it down, travel helps eliminate prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. People need to travel to gain a broader perspective. And I agree with that. As somebody who's traveled a lot, lived in a lot of places, that is very true. And then yesterday we talked about Abby Hoffman. I couldn't find the audio quote, but I just want to show you Abby Hoffman's favorite quote, famous quote. Abby Hoffman, activist, 60s, 70s, 80s, Worcester's own, Massachusetts' own. He was a guerrilla theater activist. He believed that you needed to put on a show. That's why you always see him in an American flag shirt being arrested, because if the cops are going to be swine, let them beat the American flag. He was very, very ahead of his time. And Abby Hoffman said, democracy is not something you believe in or a place to hang your hat, but it's something you do. You participate. If you stop doing it, democracy crumbles. And that's what we've seen. All right, let's get to the news. Let's get to the news. Let's get to Fox. I don't know how it's legal. This is the other thing. When us leftists take over, we're going to outlaw Fox News, because right now, these two grifters are about to tell you what they really are.
Because I interviewed you I interviewed you one time when you were deputy FBI director. You're in a suit.
Yeah, I gotta be.
And
Yeah.
I'm not on the air now, Sean. I can't really tell you. I think that, well, the real Dan Bongino.
Dan Bugina, it's pronounced. You're pronouncing it wrong. It's Italian. Bugina. Bugina. Those who watch Basketball by the South Park creators, Matt and Trey, you know that reference. Bugina. I just need to pause it right there, because Dan Bugina's whole thing was, I'm going to go into the FBI and tell you everything I can. I'm going to pause this audio and just break down what they're really saying, because most people that watch this don't critically think. So what he's really saying is, oh, so you lied to the people. You said, oh, I'm going to go into the FBI and expose it all. And then you saw the soulless husk of him sitting on that chair next to Cash Apatow. He's like, no, I saw the files. It's all just what they said. You know, you saw the life force sucked out of him. Like he was goddamn Darth Vader. Okay, let's keep playing Dan Bugina.
Knows back. And
Yeah,
I
well,
understand in that position you have to be the deputy FBI director. But you're not that person anymore, are you?
You're not that person anymore, have you?
No, I mean, listen, when I made this comment on your show, and again, the morons in the media were apparently unaware that I was paid for a political commentary show. This was...
Oh, the morons in the media. What he's really saying is, you stupid dummies that watch my show. He's using different language, but it's not the morons in the media. The media understands. This is why he called it the lamestream media. This is why everybody's revolting against the media, because they're complicit in this. This is why you come to YouTube, to other people, to break the liars down. What he's saying is, the dummies that watched me didn't understand that I'm just paid to feed you whatever they want. What's the viral thing that's on SEO and all the Google trends? And, oh, Epstein, we're just going to say we're doing that. I don't believe in none of it, but I'm paid a lot of money to shovel cow poop into your mouth. That's what he's saying. The media understands. This is their jobs. That's what the media does. They're paid to go to work. Some of them have this thing called integrity. You're clearly laughing about it because, you know, he's saying, I'm paid to be a political conspiracy guy. What do you want from me? They pay me a lot of money. I got an awesome house. I don't live like you guys. That's what he's saying. And he's laughing about it. This is fucking hilarious. He's telling the Fox News. And I love how he's like, the media doesn't get that this is like a job. Oh, really, Dan? The media? The people in your industry don't understand that they get paid to go to work? Okay, tell us more. Genius. I don't know who the fuck watches this, but you are stupid as hell.
It was news to them, Sean. They were like, "Oh my gosh, Dan Bongino was paid as I mean,
No, nobody in the media was like, oh my gosh, Dan Bongino makes money doing a grifting podcast. It's his audience. That's who's revolting. That's who's upset. Go check his comments. Go look at his audience. They're like, dude, you spent years telling us, once I'm head of the FBI, I'm exposing it all. And the Epstein files, they were supposed to be out December 19th, only 2%. They're hiding millions and millions of videos. And he helped do that. He's part of the cover-up. He's a pedo projector. Oh my God. The worst of the worst. You know? Oh, Jesus. So Dan, let me break this down. You see that vagina right there? That's how you pronounce his name. Vagina. Dan, nobody in the media was surprised you made money on a podcast selling bullshit. It's your audience. It's your audience that you're laughing at. God damn. First, Trump says smart people don't like me, and the morons, maggots, were like cheering for it. Now Dan Vagina's like, you dummies! They pay me for this, you morons! You think I believe any of this? No, I just come in here and make a lot of money. And they're like, okay, yeah, it's got to be the media that didn't know that. Yeah, it's the media. That makes sense. That makes sense. It's the people in your industry, Dan, that don't understand it's a job.
me and you were laughing about this the next day. We're like,
Yeah, I bet. Him and Sean Hannity, they were backstage laughing. Like, these dumb idiots. We're going to go out there and tell them, like, the media didn't get this as a job. These people are the worst. The worst. Complicit. State propaganda.
this is how stupid this was a big scandal in the media. Damn.
Not in the media. It was not a scandal in the media. It's a scandal because you betrayed your audience, the people that made you the millions, that clicked and clicked and clicked because you said, once we get in the government, we're going to release the files. And you did nothing besides lie to everybody. Like, your audience is mad. The media doesn't give a shit about you, Dan. I hate to break this to you. I really do. Like, nobody cares. What we're trying to do is show your audience, like, don't listen to people that are bad for your health. This is mental brain rot in human form. This guy, Tim Pool, is like, hey, I licensed my show to Russia. I don't know what you want me to do. Do you vet every sponsor you have? It's like, yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of having sponsors. You vet them. Tim, are you new? Are you new here? Or do you just have a 4th grade education, you moron? Oh my God. Stop supporting vaginas and these anti-Americans.
Bongino was paid to be a political commentator.
Dan, it's vagina. Get it correct.
And then I said, when you're at the FBI working for the administration, Sean, listen, you're very close with the people. And it's not about you. It's not about you. I didn't get elected president.
And the president, it's not about him either. Just so people understand how America works. You vote for someone and they're supposed to represent you. They work for you. Everything this government can do is because we pay taxes. The government is not socialist. They don't own any shit, okay? Well, they do redistribute our wealth to the military and the fire department and the police and all that. So, I mean, there's a lot of socialism, but it just doesn't benefit us, you know? There's like a lot of it. It's just not to help our communities. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Listen closely to how Dan positions his public service. This is what the job is. Politics is public service. I know they don't use that language anymore, and it's on purpose, but they're all paid by us. We paid them. They work for us. And he's saying, I work for the president. No, you work for the people.
Donald Trump did. And I am there to serve the administration and the taxpayers.
He's not there to serve the taxpayers. This is where they cleverly go, oh, we dropped that in there. No. What he's saying is, I was a servant of our dear... Hold on, let me show you. He was a servant of dear Thunder Thumbs, okay? And he had to do exactly what he said. And because this nussy is all over the Epstein files, all over it. If it wasn't, they would have released it all and been selling T-shirts about him not being in them, okay? That's why they're not releasing it, Sasha Riley. But it's just amazing at the corruption that they'll just admit to. They'll just admit. They're like, come on, guys. We were paid to tell you this stuff. What are you mad at me for? I just do whatever the wealthy people say. I'm not here for you.
End of story. I'm not there to give my opinions on him. I don't know why this was.
Wasn't his whole podcast about his opinions and how he needs to be? Why was he appointed leader of the FBI with Cash App Patel? Why, people? Just ask yourself that question. Why was he the guy there? Loyal to Trump, Epstein files. That was the whole thing. The whole he's not qualified. You know what I mean? Like President Reagan said, I wanted to get votes for coroner, but I don't know how to corn. And I said, you don't need to be qualified. This podcasting douche, loser, liar, grifter was head of the FBI and quit because he was like, I got to be a soulless husky. Oh, man, this is going to ruin my podcasting reputation. He quit the FBI because it was ruining his podcasting reputation. What a moron. Oh, my God. He couldn't even tough it out. Oh, what a baby. He was like, I make so much more telling people lies. Oh, these people are adult diapers.
It was hard for, again, these full diaper meat.
You just said full diaper. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's a diaper.
Back, I can talk
listen,
like I like to talk.
We've been friends for a long time.
I told you the next day, I had to be careful. I don't do a political commentary show. You offer political commentary. Is this difficult? I never got a better laugh out of a hit I did on the media. But I told you the next day, I had to be careful. I don't want to. I don't want to say too much. Now that I'm back,
You don't want to say too much, Dan? You haven't said anything. Nothing. In fact, you've been pretty quiet since you've been a podcaster. I can't wait to hear what you have to say now. I was inside, but the deepest of the deep Mariana Trench state was holding me back, and now I'm free to peddle conspiracies about things that I did see, but I'm just going to pretend I did. Like, this is the ultimate. I can't believe Americans fall for this stuff. Jesus Christ, put them off the air. Jesus, are you hearing me? Take him off the air. Work your magic. Do the water walking thing. Let's listen to Rutger Bergman, because years ago, Rutger Bergman, Dutch historian, author of one of my favorite books. Hold on. Author of one of my favorite books, Utopia for Realists. Please buy this from a third party or a secondhand bookstore or independent seller. Rutger Bergman, who wrote one of my favorite books, is a historian, a Dutch historian, who went on Tucker Carlson's show right around this time, the Davos time. And it was, I forget what year. Stop doing the camera thing, Cat. Damn it. Never hire cats as a cameraman. Just rule of thumb, don't. They're not that great at being cameramen. They're really not. And you're going to eat the electrical cord? Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Come here. Do you want to do the show? What do you want to say? You want to say dogs are drug snitches? Not all dogs, though. Some dogs are good. And we had lots of German Shepherds, so they're not all snitches. Some can be used for the people. But Rutger Bergman, he went on Tucker Carlson's show when Tucker was railing against the elites at Davos, and this is what he had to say. And Tucker never aired it. I wonder why. Chicken.
You jumped the bandwagon. You're all like, oh, I'm against the globalist elite, blah, blah, blah. It's not very convincing, to be honest.
Why don't you go yourself, you tiny brain, and I hope this gets picked up. Because you're a moron. I tried to give you a hearing, but you were too annoying for me.
You can't handle the criticism, can you?
Forming, and that none of them mentioned tax avoidance. Has anyone ever said that before at Davos that you know of?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on Davos history, but it is a bit hypocritical, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And others have noted that. We've noted it on this show. We've just never gone to Davos and said it out loud as you did. So if I was wearing a hat, I would take it off to you. What response?
So you hear Tucker saying, like, if I were wearing a hat, I would take it off to you, because Rutger Bergman went to Davos and said, we should tax the shit out of you billionaires. He does it every year. But let's now skip a little bit further. Hold on. Where they're talking about tax avoidance.
For small business.
Oh, come on. No ads. Whammy.
crack down on tax paradises and on tax avoidance. That's a major issue. But it's also about having higher taxes. So in the 1950s, for example, in the 1960s, in the golden age of capitalism, as historians called it, we had top marginal tax rate for the very rich of about 70, 80, 90%. Actually, under Eisenhower, the Republican president, and this was also, one of the best periods in American history. Same is true for the UK and the rest of Europe. So, as a historian, for me, it's all not, it's really not rocket science. We should just go back to simple and straightforward solutions from the past.
Right, but this country was sustained, and since you're a historian, I guess you would know this, sustained by an industrial economy at the time that was broad and deep. That created a middle class. That doesn't exist anymore. So it's an entirely different economy. I wish it did exist.
Oh well, but that's not really an issue. I mean,
work the same way with an entirely different economy?
Well, I think it would. I mean, America is still pretty much the most powerful country in the world, right? So if it really would want to, it could easily crack down on tax paradises. But the thing is, I mean, you guys have brought into power a president that doesn't even want to show its own tax returns. I mean, who knows how many billions he has hidden in the Cayman Islands or in Bermuda. So I think the issue really is one of corruption and of people being bribed and of not being, not talking about the real issues. What the family, what the Murdochs basically want you to do is to scapegoat immigrants instead of talking about tax avoidance. So
What the Murdochs, Tucker's owner at the time, owner of Fox, want you to do is scapegoat immigrants and not talk about tax avoidance or tax rates, which Donald Trump cut taxes for the wealthy and corporations permanently.
I'm glad you're now finally raising the issue, but that's what's been happening for the past couple of years.
And I'm taking orders from the Murdochs. Is that what
Did you hear Tucker? And I'm taking orders from the Yes, you are, Tucker. Are you're denying this?
you're saying?
No, I mean, it doesn't work that directly, but I mean, you've been part of the Cato Institute, right? You've been a senior fellow there for years. You've been...
The Cato Institute, look it up. A right-wing elitist think tank to ensure that you scapegoat immigrants, not have taxes on wealthy people. Look up the Cato Institute and their fellows like Tucker Carlson, who is meant to promote news to you.
You've been taking their dirty money. They're funded by coke billionaires,
Wait, why don't you tell me how it does work?
Well, it works by you taking their dirty money. It's as easy as that. I mean, you are a millionaire funded by billionaires. That's what you are.
You are a millionaire funded by billionaires. That's what you are. I love Rutger Bergman.
And I'm glad you now finally jumped the bandwagon, of people like Bernie Sanders and AOC. But you're not part of the solution, Mr. Carlson. You're part of the problem, actually.
AOC, wait,
Tucker then goes on to swear at him some more and says, I'm not going to air this segment. Of course he didn't. So that was one of Rutger Bregman's. I want to play this video for you. He just released it today. It's really, really powerful, really, really good. Again, this is a historian. So I don't know if you like history or not. I love history, and it's fascinating, and it also gives you good book recommendations and stuff to understand how past empires have fallen. This one's called The Fall of USA's Empire.
We live in an age where billionaires dodge their taxes, politicians perform instead of govern, and media barons profit from lies and hatred. The Roman elite fiddled while Rome burned. Our elites live stream the fire and monetize the smoke. Immorality and unseriousness. Those are the two defining traits of today's leaders. To grasp the depth of our current misery, I think it helps to start with a classic story of collapse. When the great historian Edward Gibbon described the decline of Rome, he didn't speak in vague abstractions. He gave us names, dates, and details, page after page of cowardice and corruption.
Page after page of cowardice and corruption in the fall of Rome. Very similar.
Reading the decline and fall of the Roman Empire is like watching the civilization rot in slow motion. Sadistic emperors and gilded thrones, generals who sold out their own armies, and senators who cared more for spectacle than statecraft. And yet, what shocks you most when you read Gibbon today isn't the depravity, it's the familiarity. Gibbon wrote,
Wow. When you're reading Gibbon today, it's not the depravity, it's the familiarity. That's haunting.
about politicians who lacked seriousness, elites who lacked virtue, and societies that mistook decadence for progress.
Societies that mistook decadence for progress. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. That's why you see all these people that celebrate us going to have a trillionaire, or Kylie Jenner being a billionaire, self-made. Really? So she didn't use her name or her sister's fame to position herself? Like, it's such a joke. But people celebrate that while their healthcare is eroded, while the streets are horrible, while the police is used against them and not to protect and serve, while, you know, the tariffs, we're paying 99% of that or some obscene amount, while they complain about egg prices in an election, while they brag about the low price of gas, but those nickels and dimes will not even compare to the cost of living right now, where the first-time home ownership age has skyrocketed to 50 news, where even Laura Ingraham, that devil demigorgon spawn of hell, was talking to Trump going, the first-time homebuyer age is 50. That's not good. Donald Trump's like, no, it's good. We're going to do a 1,000-year mortgage. You pay a penny a day, 1,000 years. And Laura Ingram's like, you know, when we were growing up, you could, like, buy a house. What's up with BlackRock? She should have said that. That's why she's a demigorgon. So these people confuse decadence of the few with progress for the country. God, listen, go subscribe. The video is down in the link for Rutger Bergman.
2,000 years later, we live in an age where billionaires dodge.
Oh, and it ended there and just repeats. Yeah. AutoPen caused this mess. Yeah, you're right. Donald Trump and his AutoPen. Did you hear how Carolyn Levitt was like, he doesn't read any of the pardons. He's just signing it. He's old AutoPen. And you know he's got to use an AutoPen. Look at that bruise. So I agree with you. He's definitely AutoPenning his way through this presidency. What's up, Dusty? Good to see you. Cash App Patel. What's up, Sunshine Euphoria? Hey, good to see you guys early, up and early. I was trying to do the leftist radical. That's what we could do, a parody on woke. The radical woke you up show. And then you can go watch Valenti VODs or Status Quo News or Majority Report's probably coming on soon. And then Hassan a little later in the day. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. They want the rich to inherit the wealth and the poor to inherit debt. Yup. That's why credit scores were created in the 80s. Didn't exist before that. That's why stock buybacks also made legal again by Reagan in 1982. Because they want you to, it's amazing to see the buy now, pay later stuff. They're considering, I didn't take a picture of this tweet, but they're considering doing buy now, pay later, like Klarna type stuff with rent. I mean, this is how extreme it's gotten, folks. And if you can't wake up and realize that, like, this is just not normal, we shouldn't be renting everything, you know, then I don't know what to do. You know, maybe you should just stay out of politics. And you know what I say about that. When somebody tells you that, that means they want you to keep your mouth shut, go be obedient, and allow the big boys to take control. And that's us radical woke leftists. We're going to give everybody health care. We're going to tax these frumpy billionaires into non-existence. We're going to tax them into extinction. They have to be content just being 999 millionaires. And if you can defend billionaires from that, what is wrong with you? They couldn't spend $1 billion. They just couldn't. And the only thing they do with that stuff is corruption or, you know, Epstein stuff. So we need 100% tax, anything over 999 million. And the motto will be, if you can't afford that tax, you're living outside of your means. Okay, billionaires? Maybe sell a yacht on eBay. I don't know, Jeff Bezos. Maybe sell one of your yachts. You know, if you can't afford your lifestyle. Donald Trump said that this is a new one. Sunshine Euphoria. This is a new bruise. The old bruise, he said, was from shaking too many hands. This new one, he didn't say anything, but Caroline Levitt said he bumped his hand on the corner of a desk on a signing meeting. I'm like, bro, listen, for the alpha male universe, if you bumped your hand on a desk and look like that after, you are bitch made, okay? Understand me? If you bumped your hand and you look like a bruise, I know girls that don't bruise that easily. Damn, you are bitch made. Look at this dude, bitch made. You bumped your hand on a desk and that happened? I don't know if you should be leading us. You know, I want men that don't bruise easily. I'm just being honest. I don't want, everybody going, oh, what's wrong with America? Gross. Worst healthcare ever. Sick. And he's like, no, I bumped my hand. And they're like, oh, do we need to shake like this? Do we need to do this for shaking? Can't even shake hands. Yo, what's up, Lashana? How are you? Hit subscribe, hit the notification. We are waiting on that big, beautiful obituary. That will be the day. I got sparklers ready. Dogs can be your best friend, but the cat will never tell you where the weed is. That is the truth. That is the truth. Although they will get into it. Anyways, dog, he's in his 70s. My toughest nails, roofer grandfather. Roofing is tough as shit. Bruises like that all over his body when he steps on the brakes a little too hard in his truck. Yo, roofing is horrible. That Bruce is backhanding Maduro. If you think he could even lift, have you not seen him drink water? Do I have to get a video of him drinking water? He ain't backhanded anyone. He drinks water with two hands going like a fucking toddler learning how to drink. It's embarrassing. Have you never seen an older person? Are you really defending that? I bet it has something to do with Epstein, Epstein's coming to him every night, pinching his hand, saying, don't release those files. Not that one, not one that's rotting and shitting while walking. Yeah, thank you. Not, I've seen older people. They don't all smell like rotten roast beef as he has been described. Have you seen older people claiming they're in the best health of their lives? Yeah. Have you seen older people saying, I took a dementia test, but called it a cognitive exam and bragging about acing it? Got perfect marks. Hold on, I got the clip. Because this dude is just a liar. He called Greenland Iceland, and you're trying to tell me he passed the dementia exam? He failed. His dad's money probably paid the doctor. Here it is.
It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark.
It wasn't the brain because they took a cognitive test. Perfect marks. Oh, maybe it was the hand then. Maybe it was the hand. You're trying to hold Melania's hand so hard that she slapped you away. Oh my God. Oh my God. Quiet piggies. Quiet piggies. What else? I was going to play something else for you. I forget.
Smart people don't like me.
We know smart people don't like you. They're in my chat all the time. These are not smart people. Well, at least we know he has a real heart. I don't know. I want to see proof. Smart people don't like me. Oh, yeah, I was just playing that. There we go.
Smart people don't like me.
That's right. Hey, MAGA, just know if you're in the chat, Donald Trump thinks you're dumb. He said smart people don't like him. So stop defending him unless you want to, him to think you're dumb. Okay. Enough of teasing MAGA. Did you guys see this about Cash App Patel? The one podcaster left in the FBI? This is how a former FBI official described Cash App Patel's. Cash App is his full name. That's why I use it. And I'm not kidding. I know people think that's a joke, but his name is Cash App. He just goes by Cash. Cash App Patel's demands for a work trip to the UK. He wants to go jet skiing. Let's read this. Every May, there's a Five Eyes conference with the head of every intelligence agency. This year, it was in the UK. Cash App Patel is going. In the lead up to that, his detail starts making crazy requests. He got special requirements on everything, and the Brits are getting pissed. Before the conference, his staff says he's unhappy because he doesn't like meetings in offices. He doesn't like meetings in offices? What kind of spoiled brat is this? What he wants is social events. He wants premier soccer games. He wants to go jet skiing. He'd like a helicopter tour. Oh my God, these pampered babies are so hilarious. Hold on. Is he really going to ask the MI5 director to go jet skiing instead of meeting? The schedule is set and every Five Eyes partner is doing this. They can't just say that he's not participating and instead wants to go to premier soccer game. This is a job, guys. Yeah. See, these pampered babies with their soft, bruisey hands don't know what real work is. They don't. You might. They don't. Stop listening to them. Stop making them so wealthy. Stop letting them grift you. Okay. Oh, I forgot. When I went over, I was talking about Abby Hoffman earlier, because democracy is not something you believe in or a place to hang your hat, but it's something you do. You participate. If you stop, democracy crumbles. That's what we've seen. People check out, man. Get active. Get in the streets. Be democracy. Hoffman believes democracy must be practiced, not just believed in, as it requires active, ongoing participation to prevent it from failing. We're going to get to my favorite part, but the context. This perspective was central to his activist philosophy, often circulating during his time as a leader in the Yippie movement, and his writings emphasizing that if citizens stop participating, democracy fails. Dissidence as core. This is very important. I want you to listen to this. This is the most American thing you're going to see today. Abby Hoffman argued that a healthy democracy is measured by the freedom it extends to its dissenters, the people who critique, go against this regime, rather than just the freedom of its conformists. I want to read that again. Abby Hoffman says that democracy is measured by the freedom it extends to its dissenters, rather than just the freedom of its conformists. Now, MAGA is just a conformist cult base. You know, if Donald says it's raining and he's, yellowing on them, if he's, Epsteining on them, R. Kellying them, if Donald says it's raining and he's R. Kellying them, they go, this is a wonderful rain, sir. So they just conform to whatever he said. We've never seen them fall out of line. And the few who did stop, John Bolton is one, and spoke out against him. What did he do? He removed John Bolton's security. He, is basically tried to go after him. He went after Letitia James Cohen. I mean, there's a ton of people who have spoken out, and he said, I'm going to find ways to make your life miserable. The Fed chair, Jerome Powell, just made a video about how he's supposed to be working independent of what a president wants. And that's not democracy. That's an authoritarian tyrant, a tyrant. Just like in the days of the Redcoats with King George III, we had a tyrant who was taxing us without representation, which is exactly what tariffs are. It's just a tax on us so he can enrich himself, so he can do whatever he wants. And, a long time ago, people believed that you should have some kind of representation. And apparently, MAGA just conforms and falls in line. But democracy is measured by the freedom it extends to the dissenters. That's how you measure democracy. Remember that. Let's look at this. Another Mark Twain. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. Okay? Just pause and reflect. Take a moment. I'll wait. Time for you to reflect, MAGA. What are you doing to help our communities? What are you doing when you, in your gut, down in the tinkles of your gut, MAGA, when you just know something's off? Are you just conforming anyways? Bad choice. Always trust your gut. Always trust your heart.
But I thought that was funny.
Thank you. I wasn't trying to be.
Yeah, you shut the hell up, you moron.
Okay, I will. R.M. Brown, another great creator here on YouTube. Yeah, hate speech laws weren't enforced if Proud Boys are Nazis. We didn't enforce the law. That's that's the other thing. Free speech isn't about protecting white supremacists. That's hate speech, and it shouldn't be allowed. That's why it was so funny when Elon Musk and Joe Rogan were like, "Oh, if we elect Donald, we could say the R word." It's like, what kind of moron are you that thinks like there's a word that's illegal? That's crazy. There's like a phrase that's illegal. I know of one phrase. If you know the band Barnaby Jones and their hit single, there's a phrase that you can't say. But other than that, like Joe, you could say the R word all you want. You don't have to build a club and hide behind closed, locked doors to say the R word. Do it in public so people know who you are. You know what I mean? Let the people decide. Donnie Dingleberries. Hit subscribe. Especially if you're using dingleberries. That's a good word. Proud Boys leader, Enrique Tarrio, mixed race, Cuban gay. There's some dude in my comments that's been defending the Proud Boys, being like, you know nothing. Proud Boys aren't white supremacists. They have brown people. I'm like, oh, you've never read Uncle Tom's Cabin? I don't know how to explain it to these people. They're like, no, there's mixed races in the Proud Boys. They couldn't be racist. No, the oppressors will use anyone. Anyone. They'll use anyone as their boots because they're not going to do the dirty work. Enrique Tarrio was a fed rat. He was ratting on people at the same time. You don't think they're like, oh, we'll use this dude up till the end of time. And as soon as they're done using him, they're going to throw him away. Because he doesn't fit their their belief tone. I don't know what else to call it. Uncle Ruckus. Yeah, see, you guys understand. Proud Boys sounds like a gay 90s band. Well, Larry, I always said the Proud Boys sound like, if you've ever watched Glee, great show. The first, few seasons. I was really into Glee. That was a good show. That was a funny show. It was just weird because, all the high school kids looked, 28. But whatever. But Glee was about, or did you see, what was that, Pitch Perfect? Those are funny-ass movies. The Proud Boys look like, a group that would have come into Pitch Perfect 3, singing like Rammstein songs or some shit. I don't know. I did like Glee. And here's the thing, 2 times Sawyer. Just so you know, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed a funny show. This is the thing that's wrong with America. I'm going to take time to point you out 2 times Sawyer because you have no avatar, probably some just foreign agitator. But this is what's wrong with men in America. They think they can't just like shit to like it. This is the whole Joe Rogan problem. Joe Rogan probably got called gay in a derogatory way when he wore a mask because Joe Rogan, if you listen to his podcast at the beginning of the pandemic, he was saying, oh, masks make sense. That's why doctors wear them. And then something happened. Someone teased him, and he was so insecure, he led a tirade on horse dewormers. Okay? So let me emphasize this for you. If you like something, don't be scared to do it. I don't believe in what's a man or a woman shit because it's all just fucking made up, just like money. It's make-believe. It is make-believe, folks. But the thing is, I would say the true character of a human is someone who isn't fucking frazzled or doesn't sway themselves. What did you expect me to say? Oh no, he thinks I like Glee. Oh, got me. I'm melting. What did you expect out of that? Really? Besides you telling me you're scared to admit what you like. That's what your comment said 2 times, blah, 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 yada, 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 make-believe person. Just so you know, I need to teach you this. When you say something like, looks like he'd like Glee, what you're saying is I'm terrified to admit shit that I really am into. You're fake. You're phony. I loved fucking Glee. And that's why I said, after the 3rd season, it got a little weird. But Glee was it was, I think, one of the most popular shows on TV at the time, too. So it's just funny. And I really want to just, because there's not enough voices in this virtual space, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, that are saying this stuff. Joe Rogan, Dan Bugina, Ben Shapiro, they're all phonies. They won't tell you what they, How many times is Ben Shapiro playing his violin on his lives? You know, they're all fake. They're all fake. They don't tell you how they grew up. They don't tell you fucking anything. They're just phonies, man. And then they just want to present themselves as tough guys. And there's a certain narrative. You can't like Glee. And it's like, no, the real fucking tough guys are the ones that can withstand people going, oh, looks like you like Glee. And? What does that mean? Who are you trying to sway here? Are you trying to make yourself more comfortable? Being like, I'm tough. I don't like Glee. That defines my toughness. If you punched me, you'd be like, wow, this guy does not like Glee. Like, what does it even mean? I need to break this down. I need to psychologically make you understand that the toughest people can say, I like this, and a whole crowd can go, boo, you suck. And you're like, I don't know, Glee was a good show. Would you check it out? You know what I mean? Like, that's courage. That's unwavering integrity, to being true to yourself. So 2 times. Now your name makes sense. You're a 2-timer. You're a 2-timer. It all makes sense. You're a fraud. To everybody else, though, don't ever be fucking swayed from loving something you love. Don't. You're betraying yourself. You're betraying your humanity, and you're going to regret it one day. I'm an old head, okay? I was alive when Pac and Kurt were here. Actually, that reminds me of something Kurt said. He was referencing an author, but Kurt Cobain, it's in my description on my channel page, it's in my bio. Kurt said, it's better to be loved for who you are than hated. No. It's better to be hated for who you are than loved for what you're not. Take that with you. It's better to be hated for who you are than loved for what you're not. That's the quote. Hey, stop fighting, you two. But really, like, don't. That's so sad to me. Hey, I like Sailor Moon. That's awesome. It's just so sad to me when people try to bully people into not liking what they truly like or who they are. And you see it all the time with kids, man. And it's tough because kids will gang up. Well, adults do it too. Well, my God, guys, especially in the MAGA movement, like, don't be scared. If you like Glee, if you like Cats, if you like, I don't know, looking at Joe Rogan's nipples when he does an ice bath, like, don't be scared of yourself, okay? The cats are fighting. Well, no, one just ran off. They're being little knuckleheads. These are like a breed of Siberian cat where they're kind of like dogs. Like, I can call them. They rest on my shoulder. They will go into the bath. They're the weirdest breed of cat, but I love them to death, and they're very active before they go to sleep. Adults are just large children. Well, that's the problem. You need to understand, where they come from, like Donald Trump, Elon Musk. They have daddy issues, severe daddy issues. That's why all the money in the world would never satiate them, because they're seeking the love of their father. It's a horrifically terrible thing. And the irony is that these same people talk about like the traditional family, where it's like they know nothing of that. They literally know nothing of that. They're demented, warped swine who are abused by their fathers, mentally abused by their fathers. And it doesn't matter if they have billions of dollars, they will always be hollow husks of a swine. And that's all they are. And that's what you see in real time. You should have problems against Democrats and Republicans. I say this all the time. If you're new here, I try to emphasize the point that unless you're voting for people that you truly know are not bought and paid for, which most of the Democrats are, you're seeing them just be complicit with Republicans right now. They gave up all your healthcare subsidies very easily. If we voted all blue tomorrow, you're seeing what all red turned into, right? A fascist regime. That's what this is. We're living under a tyrannical dictator. I played the audio earlier. Even people inside the machine are saying, you just have to listen to Trump. You can't do anything else. We can't release the files. Release the Epstein files. You're breaking the law, Donald Trump. Somebody citizens arrest him, please. Somebody at Davos. Can anybody just citizens arrest this man? My God, he's broken the law so many times. Somebody's got to citizens arrest him. But I say this all the time. If you voted for all blue, you're not getting universal health care. Ain't happening. It's just not. Obama implemented Obamacare, which isn't. It's Mitt Romney Care. It's a Heritage Foundation, Project 2025, right-wing think tank insurance plan to rob the people of taxpayer-funded health care. That's all it is. I'm bisexual. What's the problem? There should be no problem. Who's giving you a problem? I'll get him the fuck out of here. I healed my inner child going out in costume randomly in my community. And I was just going to say, you said it. And I make my neighbor smile. I was going to say, that's probably the most beautiful thing in the world for people to see something so out of the norm and to witness a human fully expressing themselves freely. It's the most beautiful thing. It is so beautiful, it should be revered. So thank you, Dusty. Jacob. Sauer is here flirting with his boy Chris Rob. They can't avoid me. It must be my eyes. Are they green or blue today? I don't know. It depends what I wear. I'm wearing my police when we interviewed the state police. Look, this is a Massachusetts state police shirt. I don't know if it's backwards. I don't know how to change the settings. It says deny everything. It's one of the shirts I kept in all the merch that the state police gave us here in Massachusetts when I was on the radio. And I thought, this is the funniest shit ever because this is what you do. If you ever see the police, you go, I want a lawyer. Nah, I ain't talking. Nope. So the Massachusetts State Police t-shirt, this is official. The chief state cop gave me this when I was on the radio. And I said, well, thank you very much. That is good advice. And I've used it. And you guys did not like it. But it says, deny everything. Okay? This is the state police in Massachusetts state merch. Their t-shirt saying, deny everything. If the police are telling you that and you don't take the police's advice, their own advice, my God. The Lord didn't bless you with much in the noggin, huh? Keep it to the weather with Popo. Hey, Hawk, are you advocating for a single-party system? Have you ever gone to, like, a school? I hate when people say we're a constitutional Republican. No, you meant republic. What does that mean, Blackhawk? Tell us. Do you know what a republic means? I want you to further explain that. Because when people do that, they don't understand. They're just explaining a democracy. You could just look up the words. A republic is a system of the people coming together, and we have a constitution. Holy shit. It's amazing. And it's amazing that these people say we're a constitutional republic where your tyrannical leader is violating the Constitution. Look up the Fourth Amendment. I did it the other day on here, but the Fourth Amendment does not allow government agents to kick in your door, wave in the 4-4. All you hear is Papa, don't hit me no more. They're not allowed to do that without a warrant. And so your whole constitutional republic is null and void. Who said that? President Reagan, thank you. Our Constitution is null and void right now. Oh, Hawk, please go read and come back. Reading is fun and mental. Did anybody grow up in that era? Reading is fundamental. The Constitution doesn't need to be rewritten. It needs to be reread. It needs to be reread, but I would also add it needs to be rewritten. That's why we have amendments. We should have an economic Bill of Rights, just like FDR, MLK wanted. These are essentials. I'll get the FDR Bill of Rights out for later. I'm going to go live later. Trump supporters, I mean swallowers. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Be gay and commit crime. Yes. Be gay and break the law. What's the other one? I love those things. Why are you changing the words now? Parliamentary democracy, constitutional democracy. You didn't say that before. You said republic. I'm just calling it out because you hear these right-wing grifters do it all the time. We're actually a constitutional republic. Oh, then why don't you respect the Constitution, the republic being all of the people? sending representatives to represent them. Why don't you support that? It's like they don't even know what they're saying. Somebody on Fox News said that once, and people love to go, we're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic. Go look up republic and then constitution. Okay? Know what the words you're saying mean. It's fucking crazy. Sour's coming back. That's okay. You're long. We understand. They're incels, you know. They got to. And here's the thing: us leftists, we love community. We love it. We understand that nobody's self-made. That everybody is driving on the streets that we paid for. What are you paving your own roads to work? What are you taking a fucking helicopter to work? And did you build the landing pad before? Come on. Nobody's self-made. It takes a community. It takes a village, they used to say. I was growing up and they said, we want it better for the next generation. And now they're growing up and they're going, we want it better for the older generations. It's backwards. Why would you like Trump? Let me just flip this. What do you like about Trump? That he's protecting Epstein and all the traffickers? Do you like that he put tariffs on us that we paid 99% of? Do you like that he's violating the Constitution? Do you like that he cheated on all his wives one time with a porn star? Do you like his 34 felony counts? Do you like that he's taking bribes for pardons? What do you like about him? Express it more. Because I see tyranny as an American and I go, we've learned from this before. We should know about this. I listen to the Fireside Chats. You don't like hearing all opinions, you fucking baby. You just came in here going, what do you do? Just hate Trump? You didn't want to hear my opinion. You're a lying fraud, and I'm going to call you guys out every time I encounter you because you don't hear it enough. You think you live in this little safe space bubble where you just drink liberal tears and go, I like to make decisions from all opinions. What? Socialism? Shut up! You're a fraud. You don't want to hear opinions. You don't. You came into my chat, the first thing I saw was like, what do you do besides hating Trump all the time? And I said, well, what do you do besides sniffing his booty all the time? Tell me something. And you were like, I like opinions. He doesn't have opinions. He's regurgitating fucking the same thing again and again and again. I stopped all these wars. I stopped all these wars. I want a trophy. I want a trophy. It's like, what do you like about that? It's the most unlikable, uncharismatic thing. Jesus. I know I'm funny 2 times sour. I got paid a lot of money to be funny. You don't got to remind me. Stop trying to fucking snuzzle up to me. Stop trying to get some neck love. You know who you are. I love you. Listening and hearing aren't the same things. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sunshine Euphoria. You have great communication skills. When I worked with Ryan Seacrest's consultant on Saturdays, he would come down from LA and work with our radio show. And he would say that all the time. All the time. Listening and hearing are not the same things. And he would pound it into our heads. He was a great guy. Great guy. Loved working with him. But I don't like what he did with Ryan Seacrest. Get ready for just Ryan Seacrest in every radio station in America. As soon as they can find a MAGA Seacrest, you're going to get your state-sponsored news. Oh, my God. Oh. Yeah. Who was it, Jacob, that called out 2 times sour? You see what he's commenting now? You definitely need a cuddle. This is hilarious. This is the worst pickup lines I've ever seen. Bro, work on that shit. Look some stuff up. You got Google? I've been guilty of the hate bomb on a MAGA channel issue. I stay for a moment and they're justifying babies being tear. Yeah, that's the thing. I've seen a lot of people will come to my live stream and be like, oh my God, thank God it's not some like MAGA Republican, somehow defending the violation of our constitutional rights or like children being kidnapped by these masked crusaders for, the Antichrist Demogorgon they worship. And I've once or twice gone through, and these people are just fallacies. I couldn't even spend time in the comments because it's just, there's no point. The thing is the people who are perpetrating these lies, they're doing it for money. So they're not about conversation. They're not about anything besides trying to get to the top of the poo-poo pile. You know, that's why Dan Boingo left. You know, that's why I was playing that clip of Dan Bugina. That's why he left the FBI, because he's like, I'm making a measly $200,000 a year here. This sucks. He's like, when I tell people we need to release the Epstein files and bang on my desk and say the FBI is corrupt, I gotta get in there. When he's doing that in a podcast, he's making millions of dollars. These are well-funded people by billionaires, and the hypocrisy and the irony of the right-wing MAGA cult of audience members, they're like, it's George Soros paying the protesters, and they don't realize it's the Koch brothers, it's the fucking Cato Institute, it's all those people at Davos that continue to pay this man large sums of money to mislead you. The Murdochs, who he worked for, billionaires from Australia that are sowing divide in America, making sure he's well fed. You think that dude cares about the price of egg or knows what groceries cost? No, he don't. That's why he left his measly $200,000 a year FBI job to go back to his $1 million podcasting job so he can spoon feed you lies while he goes like this. He's massaging your neck and feeding you like a baby bird all the